The Cancer and Stem Cell Biology program at Duke NUS is focused, as the name implies, on understanding how normal biology works and how it goes wrong in cancer and how stem cells work. Our vision is to do world-class research and education, and we accomplish that by recruiting great scientists, getting great students, and studying the origins and mechanisms of cancer. Some cancers are much more common in Asia than in the West, and so, for instance, Tae-Bin Tien and Patrick Tan have done world-class research in understanding the genetics and epigenetics of gastric cancer. Anne-Marie Chacow's lab is trying to develop new imaging modalities to help predict response to a class of therapy called checkpoint inhibitors. Shang Li is working on telomerases and telomeres, and he has now developed a very precise mechanism to measure these, which has led to new insights in the biology of chromosomes and telomeres. Our research aligns really well with the Singapore's national research priorities. We want to have both basic research as well as translational research, and being affiliated with a medical school really facilitates that kind of work as well.
We cannot cure all the disease, but most importantly, we should focus on how we improve the quality of life. Most of the lab, they focus on how tumor, how cancer start to proliferate. But for my lab, I like to think differently. So we start to look at why it affects the other tissues, whether we can co-live with the tumor. So our research focuses on understanding how muscle weakens during aging and cancer. We focus on the muscle is because when you have good muscles, you can walk around, you don't need to rely on any other people.
So one of the major areas of interest in my lab is a pathway called the Wnt pathway. We were able to develop a drug that targeted this pathway, and while the clinical trials are still inconclusive, the drug has been a great tool also to study the pathway. And using that, we've discovered a previously unknown sterol pathway that regulates cell growth and differentiation.
I'm currently working on these very special type of cells called telocytes. And these telocytes are known to provide Wnt. So Wnt are actually these important secreted factors that are implicated in diseases such as colorectal cancer. Understanding how telocytes are involved in colorectal cancer can then inform us of how this disease will manifest. So if we can somehow understand this and manipulate this, we can essentially teach the body to try to heal itself. This will then reduce the need for invasive surgeries and the need for long-term medications. What I've learned from David Verschup as my mentor is that he asks big questions, and he reminds us to ask big questions as well. And that really helps with designing and planning your next experiments. I've had the opportunity to work with other PIs who've never turned me down whenever I approach them to ask for their expertise. So they've all been very gracious with their help.
More and more science is team science. Back when I started, many papers were a postdoc and the scientist, 2 authors on a paper. And now it's extremely common to have 20 authors on a paper, because what we do now takes many, many different kinds of expertise. So we will collaborate with people who do bioinformatics, we'll collaborate with people who do mass spectrometry, we'll collaborate with clinician scientists. And so that's one of the great things about being here in Singapore, is we have a really rich infrastructure at Duke NUS, at SingHealth, as well as with Duke University back in North Carolina. CSCB runs on the support of government grants. We also benefit from having help from donors. Sometimes we have early stage projects not quite ready for a big grant, and a donor can come in and help push that along. So we're really grateful to people who have the vision to say, we want to help from the beginning. I'm very proud of the CSCB program. We've recruited world-class scientists. They've been able to attract really strong funding to carry on outstanding research in lots of important areas. And so it gives me great pride to watch the people in my team get invited to symposia around the world to share their results, because what they're doing is impactful.